Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the unboxing for the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Let's jump right into this thing. Now, first off, one of the most important specs being the price. This phone is $999.99, $1,000. That's what it is. I'm not gonna harp on that because that's what it is in this day and age in which we're living in 2019. Man, phones are $1,000. You know, it's good for us consumers because, I mean, you know, you get carriers that give us the ability to take advantage of, you know, putting together payment plans and installment plans, taking advantage of different promos and things that are going on with these devices. So it's not like you got to sit there and come out of a huge chunk of money right there off top. If you're balling like that, then you do have the ability to do that. All right. But I'm not going to harp on the fact that this phone is $1,000. That's just what it is here in 2019. All right. Now, we have a 6.4-inch Quad HD dynamic AMOLED 1440 by 3040 pixel display, 19 by 9 aspect ratio, 522 ppi pixel density, 88.9% screen to body ratio, Corning Gorilla Glass 6, HDR10, and we have edge display. So the display is bleeding over the edge on both the left and the right side of the device. Pardon me. The internal specs, the guts: Snapdragon 855 processor, Qualcomm's latest and greatest processor. Octa-core CPU, Adreno 640, 128 gigs of onboard storage that can be expanded up to 512 gigs. 8 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs of RAM. Android 9 Pie over One UI. The phone is 175 grams. All right, cameras. God, pardon me. We have a tri-cam system on the rear. We've got a 12 megapixel wide angle primary sensor, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 16 megapixel super wide angle lens. I figured, you know, Samsung, they're tired of hearing about the wide angle lens on LG. And they were just like, you know, we're going to take one of LG's top features and we're going to put it on our joint and we're just going to completely phase LG out. I'm sure that's the rationale behind them putting a wide angle lens on their phone. It's great for us. You know, we're going to see what LG does, you know what I'm saying, when that G8 and that V50 come out. Because that's a cold move, putting the super wide angle lens on the S10 here. You know what I'm saying? That's a herder right there. All right. Now, front facing sensor. We've got dual camera lenses on the front of this device. We've got a 10 megapixel primary sensor and an 8 megapixel depth sensor. Trust and believe when I tell you, this camera system has all the things. 4K recording with the front camera and the rear camera. Optical image stabilization. All kind of filters and different camera modes. Pro mode. Super slow-mo. The dual aperture mode. We don't have a dedicated night mode, but there's a dual aperture mode where you can just on the fly switch the camera aperture to take advantage of those low light situations that you may find yourself in. It makes great for low light photography. That's all here on the S10 Plus and all of the S10 models, whether it be this, the regular sized S10, or even the S10e. All right, now, battery. We've got a 4,100 milliamp hour non-removable battery. 4,100 milliamps. You shouldn't have no problem with this battery, even if you are a battery beast. All right, we've got USB 3.1 Type-C reversible connector. We have fast charging, whether it be plug it into the device or with fast wireless charging at 15 watts. And then we do have the reverse charging, which is, it's called power bank reversible wireless charging from the device itself, and that's at 9 watts. Now, be mindful. Even though you can flip this phone over and stick something, or, you know, put something on the back of it so that it can charge another key-enabled or Qi-enabled device, it's not meant necessarily for smartphones or things that have batteries that are as big as a smartphone. It will charge those types of things, but it's going to charge extremely slow. Okay, remember, this particular technology is still within its infancy phases, and so it's not going to be all extravagant as far as, you know, charge times. It's more so meant for things that have smaller batteries, like the Samsung Buds, the wireless earbuds, or if you've got like a smartwatch or something that, you know, charges wirelessly, then, you know, you can put your smartwatch or something on it, put your earbuds on it, something like that. You know, it may charge in a substantial amount of time. But another smartphone, you're gonna be sitting there for a while. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for it to charge it fully. Now, if you have another Qi enabled device and it's getting low and you just want to, you know, add a little bit of a percentage to it, then yeah, you can use it for something like that. But don't expect super fast charging speeds, especially if you're charging another phone. You know what I mean? It's not even going to be super fast even if you're charging the earbuds or a smartwatch, but it'll be sufficient enough. You know, at least you would have some type of charge if those things are something that you want to use, but you can't because the battery died on it. You know what I mean? So that's what that is. Now, additional features: Bluetooth 5.0, NFC, Samsung Pay, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that does have a 384 kilohertz audio DAC. Now, is that going to top what LG is doing with that 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC? I don't know. I know that when I tested and compared the LG V40 versus the Note 9, and I did that audio comparison, man, there was nothing to talk about. There was nothing to talk about. The LG quad DAC just blew it out of the water because it gives you so much more options to play with, to really customize the sound of your music so that you can have it tailor-made to how you want to listen to music. Samsung just wasn't offering a lot of the options that the LG quad DAC was offering. So we'll see if they've enhanced that here, because I'm pretty sure there's some AKG tuned headphones in this box. I'd be surprised if there were not. Yeah. Now we do have a ultrasonic under display fingerprint sensor. We'll test that out as well. FM radio as well. We have a heart monitor, an SpO2 monitor that just monitors your oxygen saturation. And this phone is IP68 water and dust resistant. Okay, the colors you can get this phone in is Prism White, which is what this is. I wanted to go for a little bit of a different look. You know, I mostly get all my devices in black, but it's starting to play out a little bit. A lot of those black phones are just really plain looking. Some of them look really dope, but then some of them are just very plain and basic looking. This is like a pearl white, Prism White. It's like, well, you'll see it when I take it out of the box, but even showing it on camera may not give it the justice. It's a beautiful phone, and it's like one of those things where when lights reflect off of it, it kind of changes colors a bit. It's pretty slick looking. But we got pure white, or Prism White, Prism Black, Prism Green, Prism Blue, Canary Yellow, Flamingo Pink, Ceramic Black, and Ceramic White. Okay, so that's what we got as far as the color choices that you've got for the S10 Plus, the S10, and the S10e. All right, so box, typical Samsung presentation. Is different that they put S10 Plus on the front there. Normally it'll just say like Samsung right here, so that's a little bit of a different spin with the box. But aside from that, Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus there on the side, IEMI information, serial number, all that stuff, blah blah blah. All right, now here is the device, and I think you can see some of the color changes due to the light that's reflecting off of the back of the phone. Beautiful. Now we'll go ahead and power this bad boy on. Okay, set it aside and go through the rest of the inbox contents. Here we've got our SIM tray right there, and this is all our typical books, literature, and all that stuff. File that to the side. Okay, here is our wall adapter. Here are the AKG tuned earbuds, and that sound was the phone booting up. Here is our Type-C charging cable, and here is our transfer device. And so this little device right here makes it easy for you to transfer all of your content and data and information from your old device to your new device. Okay. Now, here is the device. Okay, this is the device right here. Now, I've already taken the phone out of the box and gone through the initial setup process just to get it to the home screen. I haven't uploaded any of my, or downloaded any of my apps on here because I wanted to show the exact amount of gigs, the exact amount of storage that is on here, due to the pre-installed applications that are already on here. And mind you guys, I mean, this is Monday, March 11th. I got these phones, I got this and in the 10e on Friday, last Friday when it came out, but I've been so busy. I had to work this past weekend, very tired, so I didn't get an opportunity to do the unboxing on the day that I got the phones, which was the launch day. But of course, you know, I had to take them out of the box and play with them a little bit, you know what I mean, just because I'm just a tech junkie like that. So double tap the display to go ahead and turn it on. Here is the under display fingerprint sensor right there. Now the setup process for that, you know, it took a little longer than most fingerprint sensors, and I understand that, you know, this being an ultrasonic fingerprint display or fingerprint sensor, it's a little bit more secure than a lot of other fingerprint sensors that are on devices. But I still found that the initial setup process, I mean, it wasn't too crazy, but you had to like really press down on the screen as opposed to just really resting your thumb on it. And it took a little bit longer than I was expecting. But nonetheless, I mean, it does work. So again, double tap to turn on the screen, and you just press it and it opens. Okay, it's not the fastest fingerprint sensor, but it does work. And I imagine that maybe the more you use it, the faster to get, I'm thinking. But nonetheless, we do have facial recognition as well, and we have the ability to where if the phone is sitting on a flat surface, when we raise it up, it just opens right up as soon as it recognizes your face. I got the camera in front of me, which is why I didn't do it instantly, but trust me when I tell you, as soon as you hold this device up, it scans your face and it opens up in an instant. All right, so again, 6.4 inches corner to corner. As you can see right here in the top, Samsung, it's funny how like a lot of the wallpapers are geared more towards darkness in that particular right corner to kind of hide the notch. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, I don't, well, it's not a notch, but I mean, just hide the cutout for the cameras. To me, I mean, it's not really a big deal. So here, let's just go ahead and cut off night mode. And there you can see that. But I mean, very thin bezel at the top and the bottom. There's a little speaker slit right there at the top. If you could see that in the glare. And I mean, that's one of the dual speakers. I mean, so sound does come out of that, and then sound comes out of the bottom. It sounds very, very, very good, might I add. Now, as what you just displayed, Android 9 Pie over Samsung's new UI, which is One UI, and I'm a big fan of it. I like it a lot. Scroll down to get to your notifications, and then scroll down again. That's going to take you to your quick toggles, and we've got a bunch of them. We've got, you know, your Wi-Fi, sound, Bluetooth, auto rotate, airplane mode, flashlight, power mode, wireless, power share, mobile data, blue light filter, mobile hotspot, location, smart view, do not disturb, secure folder, NFC, always on display, phone visibility, sync, edge lighting, Dolby Atmos, night mode, Bixby routine, and navigation bar. So a lot of the stuff that you want to turn on and turn off really quickly, you don't necessarily have to go into the settings. So if you want to turn on night mode, and it's interesting because I know on a lot of other devices, night mode is just basically, you know, dimming the screen a little bit, you know, just for eye comfort when it gets dark or like toward the latter parts of the day. Well, on the S10 series, night mode is night mode. Like you're blacking out everything. And this is a dope feature because it literally blacks out the background for everything. It's not just one of those things where it blacks out the settings menu like on the Moto G7, but then all the other backgrounds are white. It blacks out every background, and I'm a huge fan of that. So you'll see when we do go into settings, the settings menu is black. So this is very OnePlus-ish. That's one of the main things that I like about the OnePlus 6T and all the other OnePlus devices that I've had, just because of that dark mode. I mean, it just really adds another look and feel to the phone, man. I mean, it's just dope. And so the fact that that's now implemented on Samsung devices, you don't have to download like a dark theme or just have dark wallpaper or anything like that. And the good thing about this is if you want to rock this screen on the Quad HD, like I said, I mean, this is a 6.4-inch Quad HD AMOLED panel. If you want to rock this thing out full resolution, man, I mean, having it on this dark mode is really going to help out with some battery life. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of the fact that we have that dark mode in place. All right. Now, if we go back down to our quick toggles, another thing that we have here at our disposal is the navigation bar. Now, you guys can see those three lines right here, 1, 2, 3. you can change the navigation button. So if you hit navigation bar, that's going to bring up the buttons right there. Okay. And this is the orientation that I choose to have it in, because I hold my phone in my right hand, even though I'm a lefty. I'm very ambidextrous. You know what I'm saying? But you can choose the button layout to have back over here, home here, and recents here, if that's what you want to do. Now, since this is my button orientation, when I hit navigation bar, that's just going to take me to the touch gestures. So now I'm able to take full advantage of the whole 19:9 aspect ratio without that navigation bar. So now this little line right here, I just swipe up on that, that's back. Okay. I swipe up on the one in the middle, that's going to take me home, or if I'm already in the home screen, that's going to take me to Samsung Pay. Okay, but you'll see 3 little lines right there. I'm just going to swipe up, that's going to take me back home. All right, and then swipe up from the left, that's going to take me to the recents. Okay, and again, Android 9 Pie, get used to seeing the recents being side scrolled as opposed to up and down. All right, to get rid of that, you just swipe up or just hit clear all, and it's going to take you back to your desktop. Close all the applications that you may have had open, close them out. All right, now, real quickly before I go any further, again, just the display, beautiful. 6.4-inch panel, thin bezel at the bottom, thin bezel at the top. You see the camera sensor right there, 10 megapixel primary, 8 megapixel secondary depth sensor to the right of the device. And I just like this white one too, because it has like these chrome or the metal accents around the phone. I mean, so it's a glass sandwich with metal in between or aluminum in between. But I just like that white, pearl white and silver color combination with the all black face. I mean, it's a really beautifully crafted device. All right, so on the right of the device, you've got nothing but the power button. And I wish that the power button was a little lower, because I do have small hands. I'm not tall. I'm only 5'3", y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little guy. But it would be nice if the power button was like maybe here, as opposed to all the way up here at the top. Because see, when I hold my device, because of how long the phone is, this is how I'm going to hold it. All right, so if I want to reach that power button, I'm going to have to wedge my thumb up to reach it. And that can be a bit of a problem at times. You know what I mean? Now, top of the device, we've got a noise canceling mic right there. We have an antenna line, and then there's our SIM tray, which can hold a nano SIM and an SD card if you want to expand the memory. Okay, left side of the device, we got an antenna line, volume rocker. Here's our dedicated Bixby button that is now remappable. Okay, bottom of the device, another antenna line, 3.5mm jack, Type-C port, another noise canceling microphone. Here's our bottom firing speaker, and there's another antenna line right there. And then moving to the back of the device, Samsung S10 Plus, Samsung branding right there. It's kind of hard to see. You can see it in the glare right there, barely. And then here is the tri-cam system. Okay, so we've got another noise canceling mic right there that's engraved in the glass casing. And we've got the primary 12 megapixel sensor, the 12 megapixel telephoto, 16 megapixel super wide angle. And then here is the sensors for the fingerprint, not the fingerprint, but the heart monitor, the oxygen saturation monitor. And then when you use that, all that information and data is going to be recorded to the Samsung Health app. And so you'll be able to manage all that stuff there. Me personally, I'm in the medical field, and so I find that to be a very, very useful tool. And I mean, if you've got a Samsung watch, then it's amazing how just a lot of that information is shared between the phone and the watch. And a lot of times you don't even have to mess with the phone. You can just navigate all that stuff from the watch. It's pretty dope how all that stuff syncs and how it's integrated. All right. So that is the cosmetic hardware of the device. And again, I mean, as far as bloatware, I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, this phone is from Verizon. I mean, so of course you're going to have the Verizon stuff on it. I mean, we've got the Verizon, you know, My Verizon, iCloud, call filter, you know, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't want to use that stuff, I mean, all that stuff can be, uninstalled. Okay, we've got Samsung messages, Verizon messages. That's going to get uninstalled. Okay, there was some games or something that was on the device, like Final Fantasy and a couple of other things. I've already uninstalled those. So I know that on my S10e, and I also did an unboxing on that, so check that out as well. That also was 128 gigs. It was like 105.9 gigs left after everything was pre-installed, without me erasing anything. And it's the same on this device, but I've already erased like some of the games. Yelp was on here. I erased Yelp. It came with, so I keep Yahoo Mail because I mess with Yahoo Mail, but it had like Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, Yahoo Stocks. You know, I erased all that stuff because I don't mess with none of that. You know what I'm saying? So if we go into settings and go to device care, this is where we're going to see all of our, you know, our battery settings, and this is where you can go in to optimize your battery if you want to. All right, go into storage, and it's checking. So 22.8 gigs have already been utilized, and so I've got 100 and what's that say? I've got bad eyes. I had to put it up to my face. Okay, 105.2 gigabytes left. That's after me erasing like 4 or 5 applications already. You know what I mean? So you still got a lot, but I mean, they say it's 128 gigs. I wish they would be a little bit more transparent with that, because a lot of times people are actually thinking that that's what they're getting. They're not thinking at all about the apps that have already been preloaded on the device. You know what I mean? So I wish there was a little bit more transparency with that kind of thing, but that's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? So just be mindful. The preloaded installed applications are always going to take from your memory or from your storage. All right. Now, go back to settings. We're just going to go down the list here. So we got connections. When you tap on connections, you got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, phone visibility, NFC, and payment, which you've already seen under the quick toggles that NFC is present. So we'll go out of that. Sound and vibration. This is where you tweak all your sounds and stuff. Sound mode, vibrate, ringing, ringtone, vibration pattern, notification sounds, volume, vibration intensity, use volume keys for media, system sounds and vibration, advanced sound settings. Okay, display. All right, this is where you go and control the brightness, adaptive brightness, blue light filter, night mode, which is on. Screen mode, I got it on vivid. By default, the phone comes on natural, but I like colors to be just a little bit more vibrant and saturated. I mean, so you can just go ahead and hit vibrant, and you can see, like when I hit natural, how it kind of changes the color a little bit. I mean, it just has a more natural look to it. When you hit vivid, then it brightens up that color a little bit. And when you have things in vivid, it gives you the ability to change the white balance. So you can swing it over to cool to give it more of a bluish tint, or you can swing it over to warm to give it more of a yellowish tint. If you want to toggle the RGB manually, then you can just hit advanced, and that's how you can get to advanced settings, and you can toggle the red, green, and blue to get the screen color to look how you want it to look if you're not satisfied with the default settings. All right. Okay, so screen mode, font size and style, screen zoom, screen resolution. So screen resolution, by default, the phone comes on 2280 by 1080. Okay, which is interesting because I know that previous Samsung devices, it was on Quad HD, and you would have to scale it down to either 1080 or 720. So if you want to change it, just click whichever one you want and hit apply. Okay, now I don't mind it being on 1080. That's where I prefer it to be. So I'm just going to keep it there. Okay. Full screen app, screen timeout, home screen. So if you do not want an app drawer, then this is where you can go to change that. So by default, it comes on home and app screens, or you can do home screen only, but you do not have an app drawer. All your applications are just going to be on pages upon pages upon pages on your phone, and you just scroll back and forth like you would on an iPhone. Me, I like to have the most prominent apps that I use often on my display, on my desktop, and then everything else can be kept in a drawer, nice and organized. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep it on that, but that's where you go if you want to change the home screen layout. Then you can change your home screen grid, and so if you want to get like more applications on the screen on the display at once, then you can do that by choosing a different grid. Okay, and you got app screen grid as well, so you can also change the grid with the app screen too. So you can change the screen grid, the home screen grid, and the app screen grid. Okay, apps buttons, app icon badges, lock home screen layout, just a lot of stuff to play with here. Tons of stuff to play with under the display settings. Okay, wallpapers and theme, lock screen. So lock screen is where you're gonna go to access, your fingerprint, smart lock, secure lock settings, always on display, clock style. So if we go into clock style, you can choose the style of clock that you want for either your always on display or your lock screen. So let's just say always on display, for instance. That's what always on display looks like right now, but I can change it to look like that, or that, or that, or that, or that, and you can start getting fancy with it, right? So you've got a bunch of toggles down here that you can mess with. All right, I just keep it on this one right here because I think that looks nice right there, nice and clean look. Provides me with the time, the date, any notifications are going to appear under there, and I can interact with those notifications from the home screen. Now also, you can customize it by choosing the color. So say if I want that to be red or blue, then I can just change it down here. I can pick whatever color I want, hit done, and that's what it's going to be. Okay, so when you go back to lock screen settings, you got clock style, roaming, face widgets, contact information, notifications, app shortcuts, about, lock screen. All right. Biometrics and security. So this is where you get to your facial recognition and your fingerprints. Biometric preferences. Okay, if you go to preferences, then you can choose which one of these things that you want to be your primary source for unlocking your device. Now, right now it's set to fingerprints. Okay, now just because you have one selected, it doesn't mean that the other one is disabled. It just means that you're choosing which one you want to be your main source of unlocking your device. And so if I choose facial recognition, I'm still going to have the ability to open my phone with my fingerprint. It's just not, the phone's just not going to recognize fingerprint as my main source. And so I just have fingerprint as my main source, but I still am able to use facial recognition, as you guys already seen. When I lift up the phone, when it's sleeping, then it just recognizes my face and it pops right open. All right, so that's that. Okay. Counts and backup, Google, advanced features, accessories, Bixby routines, Bixby key, smart pop-up view, smart capture, direct share, reduce animations, motions and gestures. Okay, so these are the different motions and things. So you got lift to wake, double tap to wake up, smart stay, smart alert, easy mode, one-handed mode. One-handed mode is just simply if you want the screen to be on the right corner, you just swipe up from the right corner. And boom, there's your one-handed mode. If you feel like the 6.4 inches is a little bit too cumbersome. All right, if you hold your phone with your left hand, you just swipe up from the left corner. And there it is. Okay, so that's your one-handed mode right there. Let's go back to settings. All right, so back to motions and gestures. Then we got palm swipe to capture and swipe to call or send messages. All right, then we've got game launcher. What that does is that just basically keeps all your games in one area and allows you to access more features and functions pertaining to those games. I don't play games on my phone, so I turn that off. Dual messenger, video enhancer, send SOS messages in emergency mode. And if there's anything that you're looking for in the settings that may not be in the area where you think it is, also scroll down to the bottom, because there's also some suggestions and stuff down there that, you know, the phone may think that you're looking for. And like, say if you're looking for the navigation bar but you can't find it, it'll be like, okay, looking for something else, navigation bar, smart switch, or easy mode, and you can just click on one of those and it'll take you to that particular setting so that you can set it how you want to. All right, now go back out of that. Digital well-being. So digital well-being is an application to where if you want to really monitor what you're doing with your device, digital well-being is doing that. It's monitoring the amount of time that you're on your phone, text messages that you get, the amount of time that you unlock your device, the dashboard. If you want to wind down, if you click wind down, that's going to grayscale your device. That means that it's blocking out all notifications and phone calls, and it's going to grayscale your phone. So now your phone is just black and white. Okay? And that's like if at the end of the day you just want to chill, you don't really want to be bothered with no one, then you can just turn that on. Okay? And then you got notifications as well, which I'm not really too sure what that is. I'd have to play with that. All right. And then we got device care again. That's where the batteries and all the battery optimizations and stuff live. All right. Okay. Apps, general management, accessibility, system updates, help, and about phone. Now, if we go into software information, okay, One UI, Android version, okay, Pie, for all you people that want clarification, Android Pie is present, and then the rest you've just got, you know, baseband version, all that other nonsense. All right, so that's pretty much what that is. Now, take it to the camera real quick. All right, so different camera modes, and so this is the 12 megapixel primary wide angle sensor. Okay, that's that telephoto lens right there, the 12 megapixel telephoto lens, and then go back to the primary, and then here's the super wide angle. All right, so check that out. That little vase right there, it's right in front of the phone. Here's the primary, here's the super, then super wide angle. You can get it in the shot completely. So if you turn the phone to the side, then you're just getting, look, I'm like right in front of this computer. There's no way that I should be this close to this computer, because this is a big 27-inch monitor. There's no way I should be able to get that in the whole shot. But when you hit that super wide angle, I can get that in the whole shot. And so that means that if you're out and about, you're trying to, man, take a picture with a bunch of people, or there's a landscape backdrop that you're trying to get, man, you can get it. You can get it. All right. That's a pretty nice feature right there. I know that LG, they've got to be upset about that. They've got to be upset about that. Now, the different phone modes that we've got photo. Well, let's just pan from left to right. Okay. So we've got food, panorama, pro mode, live focus. Live focus is how you're able to take all your bokeh action. You know, there's the blur slider right there. I mean, so you can adjust the blur effect before and after the picture. Okay. Here's our different lighting conditions, kind of like what we see in an iPhone. So this is color point, zoom, spin, and blur. So you can adjust all those things on the fly. So if you put it on spin, I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'd have to play with it, but the little slider right there is for you to adjust it. Okay, zoom, you can adjust the zoom, and then color point, you also can adjust the color point. And I can see this is just kind of like that. This is like the same thing as what we see on the iPhones with the little different portrait lighting effects. So all this is just portrait lighting, but it's just being referred to as something different. This is Samsung's version of portrait lighting, okay, under live focus. Regular photo, video, super slow-mo, slow motion, and hyperlapse. Okay, so a lot of different modes and things that we can choose from. Now, if we go into the settings, we've got scene optimizer, shot suggestion, flaw detection, motion photos, hold shutter button to do what? Take a picture, take burst shot, or create a GIF. Okay, so I've got to take a burst shot. I'll just leave it as is. Save options, rear video size. It's at 1080. These are the rear video options. Okay, those are the options. And then you can have it either in 16:9, which is what it comes in, either full screen or 1:1. All right, front video size, resolution. See that? So you can record with 4K, I believe at 30 frames per second with the front camera. You can record at 60 frames per second with the rear camera. Okay, so there's your confirmation if you thought I was lying about recording 4K with the front camera. Okay, this camera's a beast. Advanced recording options, video stabilization, which we do have optical image stabilization on board. Here is HDR rich tone. Okay, you can apply that to where you can just have it for whatever shot or video you're getting, or you can hit always apply, so that whenever you open up the camera application, then it's going to apply. All right, tracking autofocus, grid lines, location tags, camera modes, shooting methods. Okay, camera modes, oh, it's already what I read off. Quick launch, quick view, shutter sound, reset options, and about camera. All right, and then when I swing the camera around, what's up, y'all? Now I've already taken a few pictures with this phone, and so stay tuned for the dedicated camera review, because all these pictures that I've taken are going to be displayed there. But man, beautiful selfies. I mean, 10 megapixel sensor is on point with the secondary 8 megapixel depth sensor. On point, man. These are some unrealistic, I mean, it's just unreal, the detail that you're able to capture with these phones on these cameras nowadays, man. It's crazy. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for the unboxing for the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Again, stay tuned because there's going to be a dedicated camera review, and then that's going to be followed by the full pristine review. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've done like this one. Definitely keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech because I've got so much more content to come. Please hit that notification bell so that every time my videos go live, you'll get notified. You can check out the video and get down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what you saw. Leave me any feedback, questions, comments, and I'll do my best to try to answer your questions, whether it be just getting back in contact with you through the messaging on YouTube or in future videos that I'm going to be doing for not just these Samsung devices, but a whole lot of other devices that are going to be released here in 2019 as well. If you haven't checked out the unboxing for the S10e, check that out. I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out as well. I don't know why I didn't just do those videos together, but whatever. I did them separately, and then I'm going to do a video where I'm only going to be talking about the differences. I talked about them in the unboxing, but it's so much information that I'm trying to cram in you guys' minds about these phones. It may have just gone over your head. You know what I mean? So I got a video coming where I'm just specifically going to talk about the differences between the E and the S10 and the S10 Plus. Okay, just to kind of get some clarification on that for people. All right. So again, thanks for stopping by, checking out the unboxing. Much love to all my subscribers. Keep rocking with me, man, and I'm gonna keep feeding you guys this information to help you guys make informed decisions on what your next smartphone purchase may be. That's what I do this for. All right. Keep it safe, get spiritually fit in 2019 because we're definitely living in the last days, and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.